Okay, so we are going to discuss about CSS, and I hope you guys are aware about its full form. It stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, that's its full form. Okay, so it's a style sheet language that is describe or to give some look and feel or a visual representation of our web page, which is again written in HTML language. So I'll write that statement here as well. It is a style sheet language. In short, I'm writing lang that is used to describe the, let's say, visual presentation of web page written in HTML. Okay, fine, fair enough. So we have some idea that it is used to describe or give the visual presentation. When we say cascade, what does it mean? Style sheet something which has all the information, containing some data. So this the term means this refers to the priority. Okay, we are going to use lots of uh, ways to apply CSS on HTML page. So the cascade refers this refers to the priority scheme determining which CSS rules I would say are applied. When multiple rules are targeting the same element, and we know what is element here. We all discussed this. When a same element is referred by multiple CSS properties. So cascade determines which should be applied on that particular tag. Okay, fine. This is okay. Now what else? So we already know how HTML works, how it looks like. We already saw that here in HTML page. So this is how it looks. Okay, so obviously we are not using any CSS on it, so that's a rough HTML page with just some text and some images, some hyperlinks, some tables. I hope you guys have practiced whatever I gave as homework, and at the end we have some nav tag as well, or nav element. But if I have to apply certain CSS, how I can do that? So let's apply that, but later we'll discuss in more detail. So this is my index.html page. Just after head, I mean inside head tag, after title tag, I can write one tag that is style. Okay, and here I'm just giving you an idea, then we will discuss in more detail, like what is this. And I'm writing body, BODY, and here I'll say uh, let's say background color, um, I don't know, let's say yellow. Okay, I just did this. So I'm asking that body should have background color yellow. Okay, going back to the browser, and yep, it happened. See, the whole web page got yellow. Why? Because I said body, and if you guys notice, every single thing which we practiced yesterday, everything goes in body tag. If I close this line 15, there it is. So what we just asked to our asked this browser that hey, we have a tag body, so take this as an element and convert the background color to yellow. So whatever inside this from line 15 to line 110, it got yellow. So that's how we can apply CSS. This is the simplest way of applying CSS. Okay, this is fine. So we just saw our very first CSS applied. Let's try one more. we talked about body tag. What about strong or P? Let's try this P. Okay, so I'll give enter P tag, curly brace open close. Let's change its color. No, let's save to. Not sure how it looks like. So I save this file, going back to browser, and yep, I can see the background color for this P tag got blue. So yellow is for whole body, but I am specific that P tag should have background color blue. So this is also a way to create multiple background colors. Obviously, this is just an example. We'll discuss in more detail about it. But yeah, that's how we can apply CSS on our web page. Okay, so let's start that. So first thing is, how many ways are there to apply CSS on your web page? So we're learning ways to add CSS. Okay, so first is inline. Okay, so we have this inline way to apply CSS. We'll see what is that. Next is um, internal CSS. Okay, and third is external. External. So we have three ways to add CSS on our web page or on an HTML file. So in inline, used in same line where element is used. Okay, right away you can use it. Like we have some, let's suppose we have p tag, so you can write style equals some CSS property, anything. So I'm writing in a generic way, CSS property, and then this is my text area, and tag gets close, the p tag. This is how we apply inline, the same line where you have this element or tag, right away you can write style. Internal, we just saw that in our code. This is the one. You have to write a style tag and things goes inside that. So I'll copy this, paste, we don't need body, and that's it. This is internal CSS. In the same file you can write style tag, and this happens, this gets applied. External, as the name says, things goes outside of your current HTML page. So external will be externalizing the CSS file that goes inside a link tag. Let me take structure from here. After style I can write, I mean it goes in head tag, by the way. So link, there we go, and this is how you refer it. So copy it, paste it, and it goes inside head tag. Head, let me copy head from here. Head tag gets closed. Okay, so now we understood, like, there are three ways to add CSS, and as per our requirement we can use them. As per requirement you can apply any. There's no wrong or right, it's just the way how you want to follow with your code. Okay, so now we know how to add CSS. For our class we'll focus on internal. It will be easy to maintain all that code. Okay, so I'll keep things here if I need to apply any CSS on it. Fine, this is clear. Now we know where to use that. Okay, so let's save this file first. Okay, so next topic is, after learning how or where, like how many ways are there to apply CSS places, now we'll discuss about CSS selectors. Once we know where we can write it, now next thing is how to write CSS on elements or selectors. Okay, so what does it means here? The selector allows us to choose specific element and apply CSS on them. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, cool. Next, let's say next is universal selector. Okay, that's the first one, universal selector. So how it is represented? Okay, let me write the first name, then we'll discuss in more detail. First is universal, then next is element selector. Okay, third ID selector. Yeah, it's the same ID we discussed yesterday. So here we will see the application of ID and class selector. Fifth one, group selector. Okay, so we got 5 CSS selectors, and by using them, I mean, this covers the whole CSS. Yes, believe me, this covers the whole CSS. So let's start with the first one, which is universal selector. So copied. This one goes bold, unbold. Okay, so when we say universal, that means it is represented by asterisk sign. So let's write represented by this asterisk sign. Okay, and it targets all the HTML elements on the page. Why it is bold? Okay, that means it's global. Once you apply, even the name says universal. So once you use this asterisk sign and write anything, it will get applied to whole web page. So let's try this out. Going here. So I'll say asterisk here. Let's say font size. Let's say 50 px. Okay, it's big, but let's see what's the impact. And see, the whole web page got modified. This is a 50 pixel web size. One more thing before I proceed with the selectors, if you want to cross check or you want to do some changes on a web page, that is also possible. Let me show you. See, this is our Google homepage, right? If I want to see its source code, I believe you guys have tried. If not, let's see this how to do that. If I want to see its source code, so what I can do, I can right click on it and see there's a button inspect. We have done this yesterday, I mean in previous classes, but we were into more in this console tab. Okay, that's fine. There's one more tab which says elements, and if I hover my mouse, you can see the color got change, right? There it is, search. Then if I move here, or if I want to specific, let's see Google search. Let me right click on it, say inspect, and I can see the values for Google search. There it is. I can right click on it and I can say instead of Google, my search, and as soon as I press enter, see, web page gets changed. So this is just for representation. Obviously, this is not impacting the Google server. It is just for our local, look and feel. So if you want to put some changes and want to just to verify whether it looks good or not, so you can always do this here. And once you verify, okay, changes looks good on web page, then you can copy or whatever you have written there. You can move this code to on your own server or where the place you are working on. So this is just for visual purpose. As soon as I reload, it will become to Google search. So this for local changes. This is for HTML part. What if I want to apply some CSS on it? Yeah, it is also possible. There's the space. Okay, let me right click again, inspect. There it is. Okay, let me try here. Is it possible? Font size, let's say 100 pixel. See what happened here? The font got increased. Let me use the down my the keyboard sign and see the font is getting small. Okay, so this is how you can also verify your changes, and we call this developers tool, and UI developers uses a lot on this element tag. And if you want to apply any CSS on it, this can be also applied here just to change. Once you verify, okay, changes looks good on web page, you can copy the whole property and wherever you want you can try it. Okay, same thing is here. If I right click here, properties, inspect, I can see the source code of this page, the page we are working on. There's a body tag. If I expand, I can see the p tag, then HR, then unorderedly, sorry, then lists are here. If I inject, so I can see Java, Spring Boots, everything is here. So if I want to just cross check, let's say this is index page, there it is. If I want to change some property just to verify how it looks like, so let's say font size here, or let's say font family, and see. So I'm just using the down arrow button, and I can verify the font. The whichever font looks good, I can apply and let it be there. It says font family fantasy. Okay, so I can copy this. Just telling you how we actually work in real projects. So if I feel okay, this font is good, I can copy this. We'll go back to my source code. This is my source code, and I have written this is index page, and it's here. So now I know there's an inline CSS. So I can write style tag and paste it. Done. File saved. Now if I reload, change won't go away. This is permanent, right? So once I verify, okay, changes are working fine on my web page, I can copy that text or code, whatever, and I can paste on here. So it is for inline. This has a highest priority. Doesn't matter what asterisk is saying, what body is saying. If I write inline, this has a higher priority. This will get applied if everything is right now in current scenario. This is the element and multiple CSS is applied on it. First through asterisk sign, then from body and the inline. If I write font family here, here, and here as well, so this has the higher priority. I hope you guys are getting it. So this is what cascading means. Cascading determines which CSS should be applied on this particular element. So as of now, we are using inline CSS. This has a higher priority because this is written inline. These are outside of that tag or the element. Okay, coming back to the initial thing, universal. So how we write in a universal selector? By using asterisk sign, and whatever property you want to apply globally on your web page, this is possible by using this syntax. Example. Okay, that's it. Again, CSS will be easy. Just observe and let me know in case if any doubt comes up. Second one is element selector. Element selector. Okay, what does it do? So the name says element selector. We sometimes also call this type selector. Okay, so what does it do? Its feature is it is specific to element, and we have already seen this, and there it is. We used p tag. Okay, this is one example. So if you have some element and want to apply CSS on a particular element, you can go for the tag. Just write the tag name and it will work. Let's try one more. Let's say h3. Okay, so going to apply one CSS on h3. Let's say h3 curly starts close. Let's change the font color. Font, I think no, just color is fine. Yeah, you have to remember lots of properties, by the way, guys. This is not simple in terms of remembering. Lots of more than I haven't count this, but I believe 200 300 properties are there. So you have to be very cautious which property will work fine. Okay, so I'm changing to, I don't know what is brown. Let's say red. So I applied color red on h3 tag. Let's verify the changes. Go down and yeah, there it is, unordered list. Order list. So all the h3 got red. Let me decrease the size. It's 50 is more than enough. Okay, 20 is fine. Okay, so you can see red is here, red is also here. So this is known as element selector. So if you want to be a specific, want to apply CSS on a specific selector, this can be done. Again, selector is same like tag. Don't get confused. I'm repeating again. Same select element selector or CSS selector tag selector is same. Okay, move a little bit left. Okay, so we're done with two properties or two selectors. Let's move to third one. Let's save. Third one is ID selector. Okay, this is mostly used. I mean, all are used. It's not like specific only this get used. All are used together as particular place. Okay, so there's no this has a higher property or this is used most. No, Any selector can be used as per the requirement. So all five are mostly used tags or selectors. ID, as the name says, once you have an element or a tag, if you are a web developer, this is kind of by default we always give IDs. Even if you're not using it, still we give ID. How do we give ID? We already discussed this. Let me repeat again. Let's say we have a p tag. I'll give ID, and then let's say my text. That's again you can name it anything. My text, and this is my text. Then tag gets closed. Done. So what we just did here, we created a ID and named it my text. Okay, this is in HTML file, and we can see it. Only HTML can have this tag. What about how to use this my text? So somewhere in my HTML file or in .css file, I'll write hash. We have used this hash in Angular, a hash form to refer the form ID. Same is here, hash and then same text, my text. Typo, then curly brace open, curly brace close, and there goes the CSS property. So that's how we refer IDs in uh, CSS files. So this can be in CSS file or in HTML file. Okay, so in HTML you can write in inline, in same line, internal within style tag or CSS file. We'll see this file at the end. Okay, so let me go back to the tag. Okay, so let's try to create some IDs here. So we haven't discussed. We don't have h2 tag, I guess, here. Okay, let me create one h2 tag, and I'll give ID again. You can give ID to any element, and I'll give the same name, my text. This is my text. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Okay, so ID has name, my text. I'll copy it. Again, I said you can use it here or create an external file. Right now, we don't have any external CSS, so I'll keep it internal inside this style tag. This is internal CSS. Okay, after this, I'll copy, paste, done, and give it reference hash. Done. Hash, then ID name, and anything you can use. Let's see first of all how it looks like in a raw form. This is my text. Here it is. Okay, cool. Um, I want this in, let's say, center. I want this text in center because this is my text. So there's one CSS property text. What is that? Text align. Center. Done. I have applied my CSS, and let's check the web browser. And yep, it's applied. This is my text in center. So what I just did, I have given one ID which is unique. I cannot use this ID somewhere else. This ID is specific to only this selector. Only one place it can be used. Okay, that's it. This is how we use. So I'll copy this. This is known as ID selector. This example, pasted, and this goes in style. I'll remove the extra stuffs. Keep the important part, this one. Okay. Okay. ID selector is done. Likewise, we can use class. But yeah, good thing is we can apply classes multiple places. Okay, where it is, this one. Class selector. Move it to fourth one. Selector. Okay. So here, let me write some text as well, so there will be no confusion. Unbold. It works. I'm writing it as it is, as I said. It works same as ID. Class selector helps what should I say? Okay, this will be complex. Let me use. It works same as ID, but this can be used with multiple selectors. This is more straightforward. Others will confuse. It works same as ID, but this can be used with multiple selectors. Okay, so same thing is here. Let's go back to the code, and we haven't used ID on p tag, okay, but we are using p tag. Let's use one span tag. Again, span is just a regular, or let's use h4 to make it more straightforward. Okay, this time I'm going to use class. So I'll write class. This is my class. Name it anything, doesn't matter. This is h4 tag. Okay, let's see how it looks like. This, oh, okay, so this is h4 tag. Great. But if I want to apply some CSS on it, so I can copy this name. We'll go back again in style. What do you call that? Tag, body start, close, and we are going to use dot here, dot operator. So dot represents class, hash represents IDs. And on my class, let's say color, let's say green, file saved, going back, and yeah, I can see this is h4 tag got green in color. So that's the impact of class. Again, working with same, but the way we use it's different. Okay, so let's put this on paint. This is example, and in style tag, copy paste style node. Okay, this is class selector. Next one, let's open new paint. Fourth image, and the last selector in this list is group selector. Okay, group selector. So in group, as the name says, group selector, that means we are going to combine multiple selectors same time and it will get affected. Okay, so let's see which tag should I use. P is already there. Let me use one h1 tag at top. We haven't used h1 tag here, I guess. Because if I apply h1, it will get applied to multiple places. Okay, no h1 tag is used on this page. Okay, so I got h1 tag, and this is, say, this, come on, title of this web page, just some random text. Okay, this is title of this page. Okay, so h1 and p is used for background color. Fine. Okay, we already used purple. Fine. Okay, let's see the impact. For now, p tag is used, which is used for giving background color. So just thinking, because I want to keep it simple. H1, or okay, let's use one H6 here. Same. I'll just keep it separate. Let's see. This is footer note. I know footer goes at down, but right now I'm just writing as a text. So we got two tags, H1 and H6, and I want to apply CSS on both tags. As of now, how it looks like. There it is. This is let's remove this. This looks out. Title of this web page and footer note. Fine. That's how it looks like. Fine. Now I want to apply CSS on this page. I mean on these tags combinedly. So what's the syntax? How it works? Let me write a syntax first. Syntax is you write one tag like h1, then comma, then h6, body start, body close. This is property. That's it. That's how it get applied. Fine. So let's go back to browser, not browser, the source code. and I'll write h1, oops, wrong place, h1 comma h6 body store body close, and here let's change color again for, I don't know, let's say pink. Let's see. So yeah, you can see both tags got changed. Pink looks ugly. I don't know, blue, black is already there. Chocolate. Okay, fine. At least we can read it. So yeah, that's how you can apply CSS on multiple tags by using group selectors. So basically, the name says group. So we are grouping multiple selectors and apply it. So this is example. This is CSS. I'll say this is syntax. So selector 1 hyphen selector 2. This is style. And then we used it this way. Okay, fine. So this is example on how group selector works. So we just covered how many ways are there, and that's it. Only 5 ways are there on CSS. So you can observe. You can open any web page and you can see this is how it get applied. Apart from this, there are lots of CSS properties. I'll write some names for you guys. You can try. Again, this session is not going to be that big. This topic is not that what you can say complex to understand. It's just how much you have practiced the tags name. So I'm writing some mostly used tags and then we can wrap up. That's why I picked this today's date. So we can put, so I'm talking about CSS properties. First CSS, let me remove CSS, colors. Yep, colors. Okay, so you can apply multiple colors on your CSS. Then backgrounds. The once you have an image, not image, sorry, web page, so you can apply multiple images on your background, multiple colors on background, multiple themes. So this is also possible by CSS. Then borders. So once you have a border, what should be your border size? Every tag has a border. Let me show you one. Um, let's pick, okay, let's pick that one. So once you have this, I can write, I'm writing inline. So we have more priority on it. And here I can say border. I'll to give 1 pixel. Saved. Now if I go back, where is that? Solid. And see, once you add solid here, so I can see the boundary. 1 is actually the width of that border. If I make it 10, now observe the difference. Now it becomes 10 pixels. See, the border gets modified. So sometimes we need to highlight certain text of content on your web page, so that can be used. So next one was border. So you can apply, every tag has a border, by the way. Okay, a tag or element, whatever you want to call it. So you can change its style, color, width, radius. There's one property collapse. I have used it multiple times, so this can be applied. Then images, as I mentioned here, you can apply multiple CSS on that image. Fonts, we saw multiple fonts are there which can be applied. Text styling, the way you want to display your text, the font family, font size, font width, everything is possible by using CSS. Okay, then margin, and next one is padding. So these are two mostly used things which used a lot. One is hover. Let me show you the hover example. This is interesting actually. This CSS hover, how your HTML will behave once you have this hover property. This is interesting. Web page here. Let's try on this ID. Okay, my text is here. Okay, so ID is here. I'm trying to apply some hover property on this text. Okay, so my text is here. On ID, I'll say um, not this. Yeah, this was possible here. Um, okay, let's just enhance it, or let's change differently. I'm using one more p tag, new p tag, and just picking some text from here. P tag closed. Okay, let's see first of all how it looks like. Um, Web browser receives. This is the one, blue color. Okay, this is the blue color. Fine. So by default, it has a blue color. Clear. What I want, once my mouse, this pointer, once I hover on it, the background color should change, or at least the font color should change of this text. Let's try this out, okay, by using hover. So default color is blue and it's coming from this p tag. So what I'll do, first of all, I'll give ID to this tag. Um, let's say, I don't know what to call this. Um, let's say color changer. That's my ID name. So I copy it, color changer, write it anywhere, and make sure that it is using hash sign. Then here, after giving name, okay, just put a colon and type HOVER. That's one CSS property. And here I'll say background color, let's say red. Okay, so what I'm saying, once my mouse hover on this ID, the background color for this text should become red. Okay, file saved. Let's try. This is blue. This is fine. Nothing happens. Oh, it's not happening here as well. What happened? Background color is not changing. Change color changer. Hover is fine. This is here. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's ID. This way we have to write, right? ID. Okay, fine. Okay, going back. And yeah, as soon as my mouse enter the region of this p tag, it becomes red. So this is possible by using hover feature. This is what kind of popular or mostly used when we are designing some fancy website, some adding some more look and feel for the user. So whenever user hover somewhere, something gets triggered. So this is the impact of CSS. Okay. Uh, this is it. Okay, cool. 10th. Again, I'm not showing anything. One thing is here, again, just a fancy thing, which is say cursor. So if you want to change the cursor of your mouse on certain areas, this can be also applied. So you can apply the same feature here whenever my mouse hovers here, the cursor size. So let's try this out. Once it's hover, let's try, can we do this? So once it's hover, want this cursor pointer. Let's say crosshair. Okay, this one, crosshair. File saved. Let's go back. See, now my mouse, it becomes pointer. As soon as it enters the region, this gets changed. See, so I have added the CSS on hover property. As soon as my mouse gets hover on this particular text, it becomes crosshair. So there are multiple cursor things are possible. So you can apply as per your requirement. We add this as well. Again, there's lots of CSS property, and there's no sense to using or like showing all in the class. Even not possible. But yeah, whatever I'm writing, at least try this by your end. Just search on Google how this tag can be used, not tag, CSS property can be used, and try this out from your end. So on Monday we can discuss if you face any issue or any have a concern on it. So cursors are done. Then we have what we call that list styles. The list, yeah, we have used list previously. List. Oh, this can be also applied. List styles. Then links, yeah, the hyperlinks we use. So if you have some CSS, you can apply this on links. Um, Buttons, lots of button features are there. This can be also applied here. Okay. Overflow. There are certain properties which can be also used here. Let me write it here. Just go back once the class is done and try to apply all these CSS by your side. Just read the name. Okay. Let's say next I'm writing float. This is one of the powerful CSS. So just see examples on CSS float property and you will see lots of features out there. Float is really good to move from one thing to other, like left, right, center, middle, wherever you want to put something, you can mention it. By default it goes on left, float right, float left, float center, align. So multiple features out there. This you can try. Then size, there's one property which is size, so you can manage all the text of content size. Positioning, where you want, I mean, there are multiple features there for the same purpose. Positioning is here. Okay. 18th, the text, the images where you want to place on your web page, this can be used. Then Z index, I've used this a lot. Z index to position certain things. Then forms, and last one I'll say on this list, um nav bar, like we use this at the end, so navigation bar. Okay, so I just mentioned the CSS properties. Now it's your turn to practice all these CSS property at your end and see how it works out. Wrap them in a box. Great, looks good. What else we can see here after this? Okay, we already saw how to verify the text and things on your web page as we discussed. Yeah, you can even open any other web page, let's say um, GitHub. Okay, I'm opening the GitHub page, the web page. This is how it looks like. Or even before that, let's try this, what do you call that? Chat GPT. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'll just copy this entire thing inside body. Okay. I'll just copy it as it is, and I'll say, like we have done this already. Generate CSS for these tags. Okay, that's what I'm writing, and you can see multiple things get generated. Fine, I think it's done. I'll copy this. I want to show you how or what CSS it has used by default. And once it's done, for now I'm commenting the previous one. Control Shift and / will comment, paste it, Control Shift F for format, done, and I'll save it. File saved. Let's see the impact and see. This is how it looks like. Okay, and check out the table. Looks good, right? This is in center. I haven't asked. It knows that it has to be in center because this is image. Then call span, row span, and look at the nav bar. It looks better. As soon as I hover, see, I can see. As soon as I hover, it becomes red. By default, uh, I don't know which color it is, but yeah, it is different. But when I hover, it becomes red. Okay, so let's have a look what CSS it has used to do all these things. Right? It looks good. For beginner, at least for mid level, looks good. By default, we got lots of CSS. So let's have a look on CSS, what it's generated. So body, it says font family. We know it's a font type. Line height, okay. The line, the every tag has some width, so it has that. Then margin, 20 pixels from the top. Background color, it's white color. If I give something else, let me remove. See, the background color got changed. It becomes blue. Fine. Then H1 border, we know what is border. padding, spaces between a text and a font. Background color, text line, we have seen this S6 text line. I'm just reading out the CSS. Font style, color, fine, then color, then font weight to give it bold, fine, then unordered list and order list. Margin left, giving some margin from the left side, and font size 1.2 em. Em is just emphasis. You can apply multiple ways: percentile, caps, cm, and multiple units are there. Mostly we use pixels, inches, and sometimes mm, but mostly pixels are used, or the percentile sign. So they are using em, that's fine. This is one of the smallest unit. Then margin left, font size, then font weight, margin left, color, text line, font size. I'm just reading to show you that these CSS are not new. Whatever we saw discussed so far, they are part of it. Color, font size, text decoration, it's part of. Text decoration is here. This one, text styling, it's a part of this. Then margin, display, margin left, display is a part of positioning here. Then width, margin top, border collapse, borders, we know what is border here, so that's for this. Background color, padding is here, we have mentioned padding and margin. Then text line, margin top, font weight, color. So you guys can see nothing is special here. um, if you open any website CSS, you will find all these things there. 20 will be always there, and these are the mostly used CSS properties. So I have actually by myself I have filtered all these properties. If you actually search on web like how many CSS properties are there, what to use, so you will see lots of properties and you get confused. Okay, which one should I use, which is better, or which one is preferred? So these are the preferred CSS properties throughout the web page, web UI development. So I'll suggest whatever properties you can see on this screen, these 20 CSS properties, check them, search on browser, let's say CSS property and colors. So check out how many properties are there for the colors, what are the possible list, and check that out. And yeah, in today's world, nobody is going to write all these CSS by themselves. Believe me, now we are living in AI era, so everything is going to generate by AI. People are doing hardly, I mean, right now in industry I'm telling about, even whatever I'm doing in my job, I am writing hardly 30 to 40% code. Everything I generate from the these tools, AI tools. But this is also only possible when you actually know what has to be done. So for that you need to practice all these codes. So initially try this CSS by yourself, pick one property, check this out, try at your end, write code, see the impact, and then change by yourself and see the impact, observe it, try to recall it, remember it. Once you're comfortable, then do this kind of things, asking any AI tool to generate certain things. Right now we are not writing any CSS. Even a UI developer, they just instruct these AI tools which is integrated in our editors, and everything gets auto generated. But yeah, you should know what it is actually doing. At least you should have an idea what's happening here, and that is also only possible when you are doing all this stuff. And one more thing there, um, I'm talking about this IMG where we picked the HTML5 logo. So these guys took one tag here. Okay, so this is element selector. So tag name is IMG and they applied all these things. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. So we are kind of done with CSS as well. Again, not a big topic, but yeah, once you try to you know practice it, you will see okay, lots of features are still there which you should practice.